Hey everyone, it's Alex of Coyote Star Astrology. Welcome back to my channel. This is my full moon in Virgo video for March 9th, March 10th, depending on where you are in the world. I am in Australia. I am at Esoteric Festival, or I'm at the build site for Esoteric a couple days before it starts. I'm teaching a workshop here this Saturday, and as I told you guys, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this video up. I have no Wi-Fi, no reception. I'm in full trust, full surrender. This full moon is so galactic and magical. I thought I'm just going to film a video and trust that I will find a way to get it online for you guys. I don't know if you can hear the rain and the trucks going by outside. I apologize about the audio. I'm not really going to be able to edit this much, but hopefully you can hear me okay. And if you're watching this, know that it all worked out. I got it out somehow. So let's look at this full moon. It is really something. It is really something. We've got a moon in Virgo in opposition to the sun in Pisces. And the sun is conjunct Neptune, the ruler of Pisces. So this is like a triple power Pisces sun. Super magical, celestial, creative, galactic. But the moon is in Virgo, and the moon represents our inner world and our feelings about our reality right now. And when we're dealing with the Virgo-Pisces polarity, we're dealing with these opposites. In Virgo, Virgo wants things to be structured and ordered and logical and perfect. Virgo wants things to be clean and pure, make sense. Pisces, on the other hand, is chaos, magic, confusion, surrender. I often give this example in my sessions that in the Virgo world, if you put a coffee cup on the counter and leave the room to take a phone call, when you come back, the coffee cup will be exactly where you left it, right? Things make sense. Things are operating in the normal time-space continuum, obeying the laws of gravity and linear time, right? In the world of Pisces, if you leave a coffee cup on the counter, there's no telling if it will be there when you get back. It might shapeshift into something else. It might float and hit the ceiling and shatter into a million pieces. It might literally disappear and enter into an entirely different dimension, right? There's no rules. There's no restrictions. There's no regulations. Anything goes. Pisces is the astral realm. So this is kind of a perfect representation of the world right now as we know it. I mean, things have gotten a little out of hand, a little confusing, a little bizarre. And the poor Virgo moon is trying desperately to make it all make sense. But the truth is that it can't. So there is this need for surrender. So this is how the zodiac works. We're always dealing, when we're looking at a polarity within a full moon, we're dealing with two opposing energies, and one has what the other needs, right? Pisces can get a little bit too ungrounded, a little too far out. Pisces can enter the realms of insanity. Pisces needs Virgo. Pisces needs grounding and structure and order. Whereas Virgo can kind of white knuckle the steering wheel through life. Virgo can get really swept away within the mind and worry, wanting things to be too perfect, overanalyzing, getting lost in detail. So Pisces represents surrender for Virgo. Pisces takes Virgo's hands and slowly detaches them from the steering wheel and reminds Virgo that we can't control everything in our life. Things don't always make sense. Things aren't always perfect. And Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So this full moon really brings in the cerebral processes that we are going through when we look around the world, which moment by moment as we enter 2020 is becoming more and more magical and mysterious. But it's also getting quite chaotic, right? There's a lot that feels confusing. There's a lot happening that can lead to uncertainty around where, as a human race, we're actually headed right now. We're in very uncharted territory. Things can feel alien. Things can feel strange. And this is about faith. Pisces represents faith because it isn't logical. There are no guarantees. It's that internal anchor and that internal structure and our individual relationship to trust in the divine plan. That's what makes each of our relationships to the divine so unique. How much can you trust? How much can you believe in things you cannot see or you cannot prove? So the Virgo-Pisces axis represents that although our inner world may be always trying to analyze and categorize, this is a need for the ego to fully surrender to a higher path, a higher calling, surrender to God, and somehow transmute and alchemize the helter-skelter of the inner confusion and the outer confusion and turn that into a ladder to heaven or a ladder to a creative process or surrender to the divine flow. The sun represents the self, the identity. Neptune represents spirit. So the sun conjunct Neptune is the spirit self or the higher self, and the moon in Virgo represents the day-to-day tasks, the day-to-day duties, the lists and the steps and the work and the service that it takes to make those dreams come true. And we have a lot of energy in this chart supporting our wildest dreams to come true. When we're dealing with Neptune, we're dealing with the ideal, we're dealing with our fantasies. And the sun is in sextile to Mars and Jupiter in Capricorn, the long-term plan and our long-term commitments. So this chart is literally the creative's or the artist's dream. It really is. Full manifestation potential in this chart. If we can let the inner world relax and surrender to the process and find that perfect balance. When we're dealing with the full moon with these polarities, it's all about meeting the middle. Realizing that the ultimate artistry and creativity is the perfect balance of the nebulous mystery into structure and order. Like music. Neptune rules music. Music is taking random notes, choosing random notes and putting them into an order that becomes harmonically, sonically pleasing, right? And for most artists, this doesn't happen very well when we're trying to control the process. It happens when we get into that flow. This full moon is very cerebral because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and at the same time of this full moon, we have Mercury stationing direct. So this full moon marks the green light and the closing out of this 3-week-long Mercury retrograde in Pisces journey. Congratulations, we made it. We've all been plunged into the subconscious over the last 3 weeks. A lot has been coming up emotionally. We've been sifting through that, and Mercury goes direct in Aquarius, right? Mercury has retrograded back into Aquarius at 28 degrees. And Aquarius represents higher intelligence. It represents visions of the future. It represents innovation and genius. So having Mercury going direct during this full moon pulls through this intelligence, and it's also going direct in sextile to the galactic center. What this means is that when Mercury stations direct, which is always the green light to move ahead with ideas and move forward with our energy, because it's making that sextile to the galactic center, which is essentially a crack in the celestial mantle where outside influences from beyond the solar system, from beyond the Milky Way galaxy, can come through. This is the green light to make some pretty drastic and quantum leaps within our own mind, about what is possible, about how we're going to move forward, and about how we're going to now navigate and create in the existing reality. It doesn't get much more magical than that. I mean, it's, like I said, this is like the artist's dream. It's going to go direct, full power, and the ruler of Aquarius is Uranus, and Uranus is conjunct Venus this full moon. Venus is in Taurus. Venus in Taurus represents our moral code systems, our ideas of right and wrong in the world. And Uranus, by nature, completely restructures, revolutionizes, and changes what we know. So Taurus likes to be stubborn, but it doesn't stand a chance when Uranus is involved. Uranus comes through and completely shifts the reality of how we've been seeing things, our opinions about things. And Venus rules our relationships. So this can be coming into a new understanding of how to relate to the people around us. Pisces is about compassion, coming into a new way to exist with other people in our life. Uranus conjunct Venus is about breaking free from the past. And we have a really intense end of the month coming up. If you guys have been watching me, you know that I've been talking a lot about it. That's all this Capricorn. We're going to have the week of the 22nd. I've been saying is going to be one of the most intense weeks of the year of 2020, because we're going to have Mars come into conjunct Jupiter and Pluto. Massive accelerated transformation. And that's a lot of Capricorn. Capricorn that rules government and structures and order. So that part of the chart is getting really, really powerful, and things are getting weird out there. But what I love about this chart is that despite all of that Capricorn, despite what we're being told, look at all of this celestial, angelic, magical energy that we have coming in this full moon. It really feels like a call to arms, a call to really find our inner faith, connect with our spirit self, our highest self, our divine avatar, the one that always knew that magic was real, the one that always knew, and anchor into that. Despite all of the politics and the freaking virus and all of this stuff, this is a time to really start to anchor into that magic. And welcome the upgrades. Let things get more magical. Surrender to the confusion and the fantasy and the exhilarating narrative that is playing out on the world right now. And know that we are seated front row seats into one of the most exciting times on planet Earth, as we are watching this old system crumble and fall. And it's going to be replaced with something so much better. But it means us all stepping into our highest self to begin building that new world. Things are getting more and more interesting by the day. I'm on the ride with you guys. It's getting a little bizarre, but just know that when it comes to Pisces, whether you're found or lost is up to you. Pisces is manifestation. It's your relationship to your external reality, and recognizing that it starts within, seeded from the thoughts that you have, and connecting with the power of those thoughts and the power of your ability to create. I do hope that this video gets out. I'm not going to edit it very much. I honestly don't even really remember what I said, but I'm going to tell the Virgoic part of me to shut up. My moon's in Libra, but it's in the 6th house of Virgo, so it's kind of like a Virgo moon sometimes. And I'm just going to put it up, and I'm going to do my best. And I hope that you guys have an amazing, amazing full moon out there in the world. And thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel. If you would like to reach out to me for a reading, I will put my website right here. I am available for that. Just give me a few days to get back to you. I will do so after the festival. And if you are at Esoteric, come and see me at the Light Temple midday for a workshop that I'm going to be leading. It's going to be really fun. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.